so you can hear me. Is this loud enough for you, bitch?
Why not? No. Yeah, hurt me. Hear the game audio. Speak.
Bark, 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 bark.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, let me just quickly plug in my controller. So this goes in this end, this goes in the controller end like that. I plug that in here without my headphones falling off, hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
These things are beat up to shit. I don't know how it happened. They're just not that well made because all I did was wear them and the thing cracked off and they can barely hold on to my head at this point.
Time to invest in new headphones, maybe?
Not till they literally stop functioning, but yeah. When I do replace these, I'm not going to be buying a second pair. Isn't this your line?
Sorry. February 25th, 9:47 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2.
Yeah, you better be sorry.
This is the defendant lobby, alright, but there's no defendant. I've been trying to reach Lana all morning. Where could she be? And where's Emma, for that matter? It almost seems as if...
As if the Sky Sisters never existed, and you were hallucinating them all along. Something's been happening behind the scenes. Something's been happening behind the scenes.
Edgy!
Knowing you've already figured it out. Who the owner of the 7777777 ID number is, that is.
Well, I have a pretty strong hunch.
Considering it's the password, considering it's the code that got us into his safe.
Looks like I'm not the only one who figured it out.
No, the only reason this trial didn't reach a verdict yesterday is because there was still room for doubt regarding this ID record. And that number does belong to whom you suspect, no doubt will remain. After all, he hasn't been officially charged with anything.
True. Not yet.
In any event, once Holdout has been removed from that list, I can call for a ruling. 5 minutes, Wright, and Chief Prosecutor Sky will be found guilty, and then I will take her place.
She didn't do it!
So? Anyway, I figured you'd say as much. That's why I came here. To hear what you have to say.
Third time he's ever done something like this. Bill's hiding something, and the only way we'll ever know the truth is to draw it out of her.
Truth?
Everything goes back to the SL9 incident.
Don't be stupid. Today's the last day of the trial. We don't have time to reminisce about the past.
That depends on you.
I mean, Edward, you're literally saying we can end this in 5 minutes if we want. I think we can take a little bit of extra time. If you're so sure it'll be over that fast.
Found guilty, you'll lose your only chance to find out what really happened.
I'll think about it. See you in court, Wright.
This is it. If I'm ever going to find out what Chief Gant has on her, it's now. February 25th, 10 a.m., District Court Room, number 9.
What?
February 25th, 10 a.m., District Court Courtroom number 9.
Oh, okay. What?
What? Are you saying?
Could you speak up? I can't hear you. I can't hear you through your hands.
Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Scott.
Defense is ready, Your Honor.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Normally, this is when the prosecution puts forth his opening statement. But before that, the police chief has a proposal to make.
Chief can't.
Morning, folks! How is everyone doing? Hey, have you been back to that pool yet? No, I've been drowning enough as it is in my water. Oh, that's a good one! Don't think I can top that! If you don't mind me asking, Chief, exactly what is this proposal of yours? Well, it's very simple, Worthy. Will you marry me?
I mean, listen. Hey, that's my boyfriend.
Lana, that is to say, the defendant, has asked me if she could speak directly to the court.
He wants to do what?
So the chief doesn't have a proposal, apparently. Having heard what she intends to say, I feel she should be granted her request. Also sound bleed. In the end, it should save everyone a lot of time and trouble. What's this all about, defendant? I'd just like to make one simple request, and I'll be finished. Well then, what's your request? Your Honor, I'd like you to put an immediate end to this trial.
Huh?
I confess to all charges against me. On February 21st of this year, I murdered Detective Bruce Goodman in the underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office.
No, Lana!
Got her fingers crossed behind her back.
You can't! Your Honor, the defendant's claim does not change the defense's plea!
In that case, Mr. Wright, you're fired.
Lana! I need the money!
Your Honor, I hereby forfeit my right to an attorney. The prosecution may lack direct evidence against me, but it has sufficiently proven its case through testimony and circumstantial evidence. I would like you to render your verdict now, if you please. Well, the defendant certainly has the right to self-representation. Her request is legally valid, although this is an unprecedented situation. Indeed, it appears there's no further need to continue this trial, even if Mr. Wright may feel otherwise.
Wait, this can't be happening!
It appears the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant super guilty.
Objection!
One moment, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth, the prosecution has not yet proven the defendant guilty beyond reasonable doubt. Any ruling at this stage would certainly be premature. Come now, Worthy. I understand this is a difficult time for you, but why don't you just be a good little boy and keep your mouth shut?
Oh.
I don't think I care for your tone, Chief Gant. What? Creating another fabrication to cover up your past mistakes. Sorry, but I'm no longer the naive little boy you would have me be.
Oh. He's taking out his popcorn like, oh, tea.
With this sudden confession from the defendant, wait, right, are you having tea or are you having popcorn? Make up your mind. With this sudden confession from the defendant, it's obviously some kind of deal was struck behind the scenes. Some kind of deal. Not everyone operates as you do, Worthy.
Damn!
Your Honor, the prosecution would like to change its first witness. Oh? To who? As its first witness, the prosecution would like to call Miss Emma Sky. I request the court hear her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, I am exercising my right to self-representation. I don't think we need to I don't care what you think, Miss Scott. The exposure of truth sometimes results in tragedy. However, no matter how tragic the truth may be, it would be an even greater tragedy to avert one's eyes from it. Very well. The court shall grant the prosecution's request. That's okay with you, right, Chief Kent? Worthy, you'll live to regret this. Mark my words. Miss Emma Skye, please take the stand.
Looks like Edgeworth has decided to take the horse by the reins. Reins?
Rains.
Reins? Reins?
When
What's
it
a
rains, it pours.
So where are the reins on a horse? Is that like
That's the leather strap you pull on to guide it.
okay.
Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation. My name is Emma Skye. My occupation, I'm Lana's little sister, and I want to be a scientific investigator. 2 years ago, you encountered the serial killer Joe Darkey of the Joe Darkey killings. Is this correct? Yes. I'm trying my hardest to forget about that, though. I've been drinking a lot. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to recall those events one more time, and also stop underage drinking.
I'm going to forget, but I forget to drink.
Mr. Edgeworth, please remember this trial concerns the murder of Detective Goodman. Is an incident that was resolved 2 years ago really all that relevant? Yes, it most certainly is. Alright, I'll take your word for it.
You sure gave him fast.
Now, please testify about what happened to you 2 years ago.
Trip to yesteryear has finally begun. Yesteryear?
The year before yesteryear, technically.
Yeah. It's bound to lead to the truth behind this trial.
2 years ago, I was waiting in my sister's office that day. A man came running in and took me hostage. Neil Marshall rescued me, but I'll never forget what I saw in that instant. The man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest.
It's a good thing you weren't home.
I passed out. I don't remember much.
That's understandable. However, please tell me. Please tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, what does this testimony have to do with Detective Goodman's murder? That will soon become apparent, Your Honor.
He's winging it.
You've got to admire him for his courage, considering he has no evidence. I mean, I do the same thing all the time, but...
Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination.
Alright, Emma, I'm gonna press you. Don't cry.
No! Why'd you push me, Mr. Wright?
2 years ago, the defendant was a detective at the police department, correct?
You don't have to shove me. I'll just answer your questions normally. Yes, he was second in command. He was second in command under. Oh, she was second in command under then Deputy Chief of Police Gann. My sister, she was the best detective ever, even better than Batman.
Yes, I remember. Batman sucked compared to her. Deputy Chief Gann and Miss Skye used to be quite the pair. Sherlock Holmes? Who? Watson? Who?
I believe they shared the same office. That's right. I'd always sit at my sister's desk, mess with her computer. I had a great score on Minesweeper, and dream about playing that organ. I wanted to play it that day, too.
The police department and the prosecutor's office held a ceremony that day.
Lana promised to take me to dinner after she finished her work. Dan came running in and took me hostage.
Man.
Yes, Joe Dark. He was a serial killer.
Joe Darkey was brought in for questioning the day of that ceremony. We were desperate to get anything on him that would lead to an arrest. When he saw his chance, he fled the room, right? Upon fleeing the room, Darkey proceeded to take the elevator. He must have been in a panic because the elevator was going up. Then he ran into Sky and Gant's office.
There was a lot of noise coming up from outside, so I opened up the door to have a look. That's when I saw him from the Powerpuff Girls.
What was the prosecutor doing there?
That day, there were two people present during Darkay's questioning. Deputy Chief David Gant and Prosecutor Neil Marshall.
Almost forgot about Gant.
Neil Marshall had just received the King of Prosecutors Award. Young and dedicated, he went straight to the questioning room after the ceremony. I assume that would also be why he was the first to run after Darky.
When Darkay grabbed me, I thought I was as good as dead.
And that's when Prosecutor Marshall came running in.
I don't clearly remember what happened then, but...
Can you tell us about that?
Mr. Marshall jumped on Dark. Just then, the lights went out. Then there were two Darks.
Lights?
It was just about this time of year. There was a terrible storm going on, and lightning struck nearby.
Well, the electricity went out.
Wait a minute. If it was pitch dark in that room, you shouldn't have been able to see anything, right?
Right, but just then lightning flashed, again outside. That sudden flash left an unforgettable image of the scene in my mind.
I see.
I told the detective about what I saw then.
The detective.
Yes, Detective Goodman. He was in charge of the case. He's such a good man.
Yes, I am.
Detective Bruce Goodman, the victim. Hear more. So you spoke to Detective Goodman about this 2 years ago.
Yes, that's what's so scary about this trial.
And you told Detective Goodman about what you saw.
Yes, but at the time, the words just wouldn't come out. That's why I drew a picture.
Picture, yes, I think she mentioned that before. I may know where the exact picture is, because it's in my...
Too bad we'll never dig that picture up, because it's doubtlessly in the police archives or something. Never see that picture ever again.
Picture is drawn on the back of this evidence list in magic marker. Magic marker? Magic marker? It's not just... That was just like...
She was 14.
Magic marker. I've got a very bad feeling about this.
Stay on target. Well, Mr. Wright, have you heard enough?
Ask about the picture. This picture the witness drew. I believe it has a very important meaning.
But the list of evidence I was given 2 years ago didn't contain a picture. Witness, would you mind if we added this statement to your testimony?
Yes, Your Honor. I drew a picture of that scene once, but it seems to have been lost forever, never to be recovered or seen again.
Whatever it could be, boys! Whatever it could be! Never who problem. We didn't find any Gant's office or anything. You drew a picture of the scene you witnessed, right?
Yes, I wanted to do everything I could to help the investigation. I can still see it now, whenever I close my eyes.
That's strange. I took over the case after Prosecutor Marshall died, mysteriously. Yet I never received any picture. Perhaps the witness is mistaken.
But I did draw it, I swear. I'm not just imagining it.
This picture that Emma drew. That reminds me! I guess I should check the evidence again.
Okay, that's as good a prompt as any. Let's go through all the evidence one more time.
All of it?
Yes.
Okay. Attorney's badge. No one would believe I was a defense attorney if I didn't carry this. Goodman's ID, an investigator's ID card. Found at prosecutor's office crime scene. ID number 5842189. King of Prosecutor's Trophy. 2 years ago, the halberd was removed at Gant's behest, giving it its current form. Edward's knife, the murder weapon, usually in Edward's toolbox. Traces of victim's blood, no prints. Actually, we learned it's not the murder weapon, but... Record of parking in the prosecutor's office lot. Entered lot at 5:12 p.m.
Yeah, honestly, the 3DS games are a lot better at, like, clearing out evidence you don't need anymore.
Yeah. Blue Badger panel was allegedly dancing in the evidence room at the time of the murder at the PD.
Starburst.
Not again.
You.
Not again.
Please be my friend.
Woman's autopsy report. Death due to loss of blood, 1 knife wound. Died within an hour and a half of 4 p.m. Woman's note. Victim's memo found in the car trunk. While on cell phone. The word muffler was overheard during a call made to MF 518. Parking lot floor plans. The parking lot with Ed's car. Crime photo taken by Angel Star after the crime was committed. White and victim shoe, white enamel shoe. Bears traces of blood from Goodman and Long Sky. Switchblade knife. The broken tip was found in the victim's body. Belonged to murderer Joe Dark. Luminal testing fluid.
The victim in this context is Marshall, not Goodman.
Yeah. Luminal testing fluid. Solution used for scientific investigation. Finds blood traces. Spray to use. ID card record. IDs of all who entered the evidence room on 2/21. February 21st. 4:20 p.m. Who was it? I know who it was. It
We all
was,
know who
actually.
it was.
Yeah.
It was Dick Gumshoe.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, his name's not there, so like, sus. Fingerprinting set. Recovers fingerprints from handprints for comparison with fingerprint file. Screwdriver. Evidence from a past case of Edgeworth's. Brought back to his office by Gant's request. Women's lost item report. A half-written document dated 2/21 can only be submitted to the chief of police. Evidence room floor plan. Scene of the stabbing of a detective at the PD. Rubber glove. Tagged evidence from the SL9 incident. Extremely thin rubber glove. Evidence logger. Only the assigned detective's prints can unlock it. Indicator lamp lights up when it's open. Unstable jar. Evidence from the SL9 incident. Final fragment found in Chief Gant's safe. Blood traces. Marshall's fingerprints. Found on the bloody handprint on Marshall's own locker. The print has been wiped. Security video. Video from the security camera placed in the evidence room. SL9 incident files. Files for the Joe Dark killing solved 2 years ago. Neil's autopsy report. Stabbed in the back. Died from punctured heart and lung. A knife tip was in the wound.
Stabbed in the back, huh?
Yeah. Gant's picture. Follow the award ceremony of Gantz, Lana, and Neil. Evidence list. List of evidence in the SL9 incident. Was ripped in half. This is a part is all it. So this part is all I've got. Also Emma's pictures on the back of it. Found in Chief Gant's safe. Evidence for something, but what? There's Emma Sky's fingerprints. Clear handprint has been seen on the leather cloth. Can't be seen. Print belongs to Emma. I think I'll keep this information to myself for now.
Okay, Creeper.
Not right. Not Phoenix. Withholding evidence.
Well, anyway, let's continue now that Starburst knows all the evidence again. This scene that imprinted an image in your mind. Can you please describe it to us?
The man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest.
Sorry, that is a contradiction. That is a contradiction, but I don't know.
We've got two different contradictions here. Which one do you want to do first?
Well, we'll do stab in the back first.
Oh, we have to do the picture first.
What? That's whole bullshit. Okay.
I don't remember how long it's been since we last saved, so I'm just gonna let that stand.
Didn't you just save?
No.
But you saved, like, I think before... Anyway, it's fine. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. That's what happens.
Anyway, this is kind of bullshit, just saying. Mr. Edgeworth. This little girl put all her heart into drawing that picture. And yet, you insist on denying its existence!
I'm a hot critic, right? Hey, I'm not the bad guy. All I'm saying is that as the prosecutor for that case, I wasn't handed such a picture.
That may well be. But that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Behold!
This is the evidence list for the SL9 incident.
Please turn it over, Your Honor.
Turn it over. Turn it... Oh! What's this? Yes, what is that? What even is that?
Hey, that's it. That's the picture I drew.
Indeed, two men appear to be wrestling. What's the meaning of this? What are you doing with that list?
Me?
Only the prosecutor in charge should have access to that list. Well, these lists, they're different from each other. What? It would appear, Mr. Edgeworth, that the evidence list you were handed 2 years ago was incomplete. These two lists fit together to form one. You can see the marks here where they were torn apart from each other.
So you see, Mr. Edgeworth, it's quite obvious what happened. 2 years ago, only half of the evidence in that case ever reached you.
What? What?
Nani?
Order! Order! But, Miss Sky, why did you draw your picture on the back of such an important list?
Because that's what Detective Goodman handed me in the questioning room, Your Honor.
Wait a minute. If this list was torn in half, then that means... Your Honor!
Are you alright, Mr. Wright? Your eyes are bulging from your head.
If the evidence list was torn in half, then there might be more of the drawing on the back of Mr. Edgeworth's list! Edgeworth, turn it over, right now!
Yes, that's quite conceivable, Mr. Edward. It's possible. Let's see. No, stop eating the list, Mr. Edward. Is something wrong?
You even have to ask.
Are you not getting enough fiber in your diet? Sorry, Your Honor. There is indeed something wrong with the back of my list. It's that thing!
Oh, fuck! That's not good.
That's that thing. That thing that was dancing in the evidence room. Everyone's best friend, the Blue Badger. Clearly, this act of vandalism is the work of a certain chief of detectives.
I guess he was out of scrap paper.
Evidence was restored and updated in the court record.
That's the evidence in the SL9 incident. Half of the list was found against desk.
Very well. Witness, will you please testify about this picture you drew 2 years ago? Oh, we can't inspect it anymore.
Huh? Yes, sir, Your Honor.
What's wrong with Emma?
She's been possessed by the will of the Blue Badger.
She seemed to be thinking about something when she was looking at that picture.
She was receiving instructions. Instructions to kill us all and burn the building down.
By the will of the Blue Badger, you could start a Blue Badger cult. Like, literally.
Emma's Picture by Emma Sky, age 16. This is the picture I drew 2 years ago. The flash of lightning was so bright all I could see were shadows. After that I must have fainted. This picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant.
To think a flash of lightning could burn such an image in your mind.
Thanks to that, though, she was able to show us exactly what she saw.
Well, I don't see any contradictions here. This clearly shows Joe Darkey about to murder prosecutor Neil Marshall. The defense may now begin its cross-examination.
Emma's picture.
Did you draw this picture right after the incident?
I think I drew it 2 or 3 days later. At first I was in such a state of shock that I couldn't do anything.
During that time, the investigation team was reorganized. Detective Goodman was placed in charge, under the direction of David Gant and Lon Scott.
2 or 3 days later. The memory should still have been fresh in her mind.
Excuse me, witness. But can you please tell us why this picture is painted all black?
The flash of lightning was so bright, all I could see were shadows.
So at the time, you didn't even know it was Mr. Marshall who had come to your rescue.
No, I couldn't see him clearly. The lightning was so bright, and I was knocked to the floor.
You were knocked to the floor.
Dark had a tight grip on me, but when Mr. Marshall jumped him, I was knocked away. I turned around, and that's when the lightning flashed.
Poor Emma. I'm just glad she wasn't hurt.
What happened after the lightning flashed?
What happened?
After that, I must have
You mean you didn't see the actual murder take place?
No, I'm sorry.
The flash of lightning only drove off the darkness for a split second. Not only that, but the trauma of the situation understandably caused the witness to faint. Do you really need to torture this girl any further?
What? Hey, I'm the bad guy here. You're the one who insulted her drawing.
Anyway, this picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant.
Sorry for asking so many times, but are you sure you drew exactly what you saw?
Of course, this is the exact scene.
Was it influenced in any way from your talks with the detectives?
Are you insinuating we somehow manipulated her memory, Mr. Wright?
No, of course not. I better watch out, or he might find some way to cut my salary, like he does Gumshoe.
I took this picture before I heard anything from the detectives, so I don't think anyone's story would influence me.
Mr. Wright, is there something that's bothering you about this picture?
Yes. Stab from the front, not the back. Oh well. That's strange. She claims this is exactly the scene that was imprinted in her mind. And yet, there's clearly a contradiction here. There's no stab in the back, stab in the front.
Alright, so present the autopsy report?
Wait. I'll be mad if this still doesn't work. Okay. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this picture the witness drew
Sucks.
contains a blatant contradiction.
And it also sucks.
What? But I still remember it just like it was yesterday. And I put my heart and soul into drawing it, Mr. Wright. Also, I was like really
you
traumatized.
need to go to art school.
Also, I was like super traumatized at the time. So, are you really going to criticize me when I was not in a good place mentally?
Mr. Wright? Perhaps it would be faster if you simply pointed out this contradiction for us. What part of this picture contradicts the autopsy report?
I mean,
I'm genuinely not sure where to point here.
I assume we do it at the victim in the picture that's getting stabbed in the chest. I think it's this part here. What? I don't know what we point at. The knife? Maybe? I mean, we know what's wrong. I don't know why we have to point at it. Why Phoenix can't just say it. The contradiction of course lies here!
Yeah, that makes sense.
Take a look at the knife the man is holding. View it closely, you can see its tip. See, its tip is broken.
Can you see that? This is not that detailed of a picture.
That's not what I was thinking.
Even I don't have to look closely to see that, Mr. Wright. Where the fuck are we going with this?
But Mr. Wright, look at the evidence. See the murder weapon? Its tip is broken too.
If I recall, the tip of the knife was found broken off in the victim's body.
It was a conclusive piece of evidence that proved Joe Dark was the murderer.
Afraid it's not so simple, Emma.
And where, pray tell, could you possibly see a problem? I guess we're all stupid. We're ignoring the obvious fact that if this is a picture of Joe Dark about to commit the murder, then the knife tip wouldn't have been broken off yet.
It's obvious, really. The victim suffered a single stab wound to the back. The victim was only stabbed once. Then the murder weapon should not yet be broken. I didn't think that was broken in the image. That's not what I was going for, but you know, I get it. Sure.
Perhaps the knife was broken beforehand, even though the broken off tip was found inside the victim's body. I'm a fucking idiot, I guess.
Edgeworth, could you be stupid? Sorry, but I'm afraid you're stupid, Edgeworth.
I may be stupid.
The tip of the knife was found inside the victim's body. We just mentioned this. If it was broken beforehand, it could possibly wind up there.
That's right, but what does this mean? The tip of the knife was undeniably discovered within the victim's body, now that you reminded me. The only possible explanation is the witness's memory is mistaken.
That's why I asked her so many times. She was sure she remembered correctly. I believe you were annoyed at the time. But she was sure she remembered correctly.
But there's no other way to explain this inconsistency.
You know what this case is? It's a lot of, going around the actual problems, though. Like, I mean, there's always just clear contradictions, but it's just like, you know what, loop around. It's a lot of looping, if that makes sense. Like, the last trial, like, part of the trial, that was just all looping when the answer was, like, clear, because we could see on the tape there was no murder. But it took us so long to get there. Not my favorite case, but, you know, so far. But anyway.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to rank them all after this case is done, by the way. So, be ready for that.
Okay. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. There's another explanation. Have you forgotten already?
Yes.
About a little something called falsified evidence.
You're treading on thin ice, Wright.
All I'm saying is that this broken knife tip might be the piece of evidence that was forged! You can't deny the possibility!
No. Ah! Order, order, order! Are you saying the investigation really was corrupted?
Your Honor, please allow me to once again go over the events that took place the day of the murder. Are you ready for a recap, everyone?
Just one more
The
thing.
police department and the prosecutor's office were... What?
Just one more thing, and then I'll get out of your hair.
The police department and the prosecutor's office were holding a ceremony that day. After receiving the Canada Prosecutor's Award at the ceremony, Neil Marshall questioned Joe Dark along with Damon Gant. During his questioning, Joe Dark fled the room. Prosecutor Marshall chased after him and was killed by Dark. It is my belief that somewhere in this story there is a lie.
I'm not lying. Man really was holding up a broken knife.
If that's true, then there's no other way around it. This could not have been the actual murder weapon. There must have been another broken knife.
Oh,
The chances of there being two broken knives.
another broken knife besides Joe Dark's.
Let's see. This knife's intact. They took the halberd off of this trophy. Oh hey,
That
looks
could be
like
a knife.
That looks like a knife with a square tip.
Yeah,
I wonder.
I wonder.
Oh no.
We also have a screwdriver,
here's
but
our-
that's not. Yeah.
Here's our broken knife. See?
I mean, listen, he got flatheads too. But, no. I'm thinking, yeah. Another broken knife besides Joe Dark's. Could there have been one? There is another one! The witness in this adamant about the accuracy of what she saw.
If the witness is this adamant about the accuracy of what she saw,
It can't just be explained away by a simple observational error.
Right.
In that instant, Emma really did see a broken knife.
I assume then that you have some information about this other broken knife. Save just in case it's 50-50 of whether they want us to present the picture or the trophy. If so, please feel to enlighten us.
The murder weapon was already broken prior to the murder. There's only one way. Take a look at this. Here's the real murder weapon. I guess we
Alright,
do
so-
present the trophy. Yeah, I'm going the trophy.
If anything's broken here, it's you.
Huh?
I'm sure this must all be very amusing to you, Mr. Wright. But may I remind you that the fate of Miss Lana Skye hangs in the balance?
Sorry, Your Honor. The answer lies in the past. 2 years in the past.
It's honestly fucking bullshit, because the description of this trophy mentions the removed halberd.
Right here inside this picture.
Like, either one should have counted. This
Yep.
is a picture of the awards ceremony. Oh! What is it, Mr. Edwards? It's the broken murder weapon.
Notice the award prosecutor Marshall is holding.
That's a broken knife.
As we earlier concluded, the knife in the drawing was not Joe Dark's knife. That being the case, the knife the witness saw was in all likelihood from this award.
Order! Order! Order!
Neil Marshall was awarded King of Prosecutors that day. As an award, he was given this broken shield and knife. When he chased after Joe Dark, he pulled out this knife. Being a prosecutor, he did not carry a pistol.
Even though he was a cowboy.
This broken knife was the only weapon he had in this dangerous situation.
But that can't be. That's fucking stupid.
Oh. And yes, and why is it fucking stupid, Mr. Edgeworth?
Because if the King of Prosecutors Award knife was the murder weapon, then the murderer and the victim would be reversed.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I mean, this man raising a knife would have been Prosecutor Neil Marshall.
Oh. Wow!
But the prosecutor was the one who actually died.
True. What's going on here?
It seems Mr. Wright has been a bit too eager to jump to conclusions.
I remember now. I remember everything.
Witness?
Mr. Edgeworth,
What is it?
can you show me your evidence list again, please?
Business? The one with that picture scribbled on the back.
I knew it.
It's gonna be a thing where it's like, the picture is backwards. It's gonna be one of those things, isn't it?
This picture. I'm the one who drew it.
What?
You drew that?
That's right. The list wasn't torn in half at the time I drew this picture.
Emma, you started this monstrosity?
All this time I've been trying so hard to forget. The blue badger came in and killed Neil Marshall. I must have locked this part away deep inside me.
Perhaps it would be best if we added this to the witness's testimony. Would you please tell us what you recall, Miss Scott?
Yes, Your Honor.
First the knife mix-up, and now the blue badger. This should be interesting.
Should it?
I don't
Emma's
know.
Recollection by Emma Skye, age 16.
I feel like this is what she would actually, though, document, like, her, like, scientific journal or something.
When I saw that man raise his knife, I panicked and rushed toward both of them. I think I knocked away the man with the knife. Just then there was another flash of lightning, and that's when I saw the blue badger, and he told me to burn them all. He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow, and heard his voice, heard his demonic commands.
This is certainly most unusual. Why, impossible! The chief of detectives hadn't even designed him until this year. Nice typo, Capcom.
That would mean he didn't even exist 2 years ago. Oh, good job, Phoenix.
Fool, the blue badger is eternal.
Fuck.
Yes, well, the defense may now begin its cross-examination.
Stop, please! Don't pursue this any further.
Lana!
What's the meaning of this? Please remain seated in the defendant's chair.
But you can't do this. I've already confessed to the crime. Why can't you just leave it at that?
Chief Prosecutor Scott, you've already come this far. It's too late to turn back. Silence! The defense will now begin its cross-examination. Bailiff, please detain the defendant.
Things are finally getting to the core of the matter. Does it? When you say that man, I assume you refer to Joe Dark.
Yes, at least I think it was him.
You think? Well, that's not very decisive.
Ooh, I'm afraid I've been thinking.
Dangerous pastime.
I know.
All I can really see were shadows.
Our outage that immediately preceded the incident is also documented in the prosecutor's office reports. So then you...
I can't rush toward both of them.
Why would you do something so dangerous?
What else could I have done? I was fucking 14, kid. He was about to stab Mr. Marshall.
He seems convinced that Dark was the one holding the knife.
As we've just seen, Mr. Marshall was the one holding the knife.
Oh, I didn't know that at the time. Jeez, give me a break. When that dark guy knocked me down, all I could think was, I've got to help that other person. I think I knocked away the man with the knife.
What do you mean, you think?
It all happened so fast, and I was in shock. I don't remember everything clearly. What I did, it's all kind of a blur.
Miss Skye was almost killed before she was witness to a murder about to take place. With so much happening in a matter of seconds, a little disorientation is only natural.
I saw the man about to stab the other person, who I thought was Mr. Marshall. I knew I had to stop the man with the knife.
What you did was very brave, young girl. Very stupid, but very brave. So then, what happened next?
just then there was another flash of lightning, and that's when I saw the blue badger.
You sure about this?
Of course, see? I even drew a picture of him here.
But it was the chief of detectives who thought up this hideous monstrosity. And that was just this year. The blue badger did not exist 2 years ago. This is all quite verifiable.
That's what you think, Mr. Edgeworth. I know it sounds strange. I was surprised too when I saw him at the police department. I had this nagging feeling that I'd seen him before somewhere.
And we're just gonna hang on this statement for the next hour and 10 minutes.
Do you hate me? Like...
Starburst, I love you. Now I finally remembered.
Oh, brother. Just when you thought that thing had caused enough commotion.
Tell us, where in the room did you see him dancing?
He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow.
His shadow. So you mean you didn't actually see his face, with its winning smile and all?
That's right, but I still remember it. He had 3 creepy horns.
Miss Potts, that thing couldn't have possibly existed 2 years ago. The witness must be mistaken.
That may well be. But what's important is what caused her to think she saw what she did.
Oh, and I suppose you have an explanation. If so, then by all means, please tell us what this shadow really was.
What was it Emma saw when the lightning flashed? Who is this blue badger really? I just might know.
Do you actually know? Or do you want to go over the evidence again?
Let me just look at I want to verify that I know. Okay, blue badger.
Does this look like the blue badger?
No, go to the next page. Next page. Does the vase look like the blue badger? I don't know. Like if that, I think it's that shadow from that. You think? Oh no. That's my first thought, though.
It's hard to maneuver.
I'm like, yeah, that could be a shadow. That probably looks like a blue badger. Yeah. Anyway, that's what I think the answer is. The blue badger had even been dreamt up when Emma drew this picture. Yes, she's certain she saw its shadow. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is the defense's belief that on the fateful day 2 years ago, there indeed was something that looks similar to the blue badger. Something that is now sitting in this very room.
Mr. Wright!
In this room? Very well, Mr. Wright. What is it that the witness saw in that instant? Please show us this mysterious blue badger look-alike.
The mysterious blue badger was in fact this!
But that's... Oh, what exactly is that? It's so tacky.
I believe it's some sort of jar.
Unauthorized fucking thing. Blow it up now.
But Mr. Wright, that doesn't look anything like the blue badger.
Neither does it. As it stands now, it's just a plain jar. However, what if we were to change our viewpoint?
What if I were to flip it around with my mental mind powers? Our viewpoint, your mental mind powers.
I'm gonna show them the correct angle to look at this. Wow. Wow. you having fun yet?
I remember this being really picky about the angle on 3DS, and it's really annoying trying to rotate it with just the one stick.
Yeah. This isn't right. I've got to make him look more like the Badger. Right?
Allow me to remind the defense its case hinges on the witness's drawing. If Mr. Wright can't match the shape the witness drew by rotating that vase with a single analog stick, we cannot accept his claim.
I gotta find just the right angle. Jesus fucking
you,
Christ. Maybe I should rotate vertically a bit more, or horizontally. Gosh, I'm getting a headache.
Come on, Mr. Wright, you can do it.
Gosh, show them the correct angle. Look at this from. This is fucking annoying.
Yep.
Like headache in Apollo Justice? Probably.
Wouldn't you like to know?
I will now. This isn't right. At least we don't lose points for getting it wrong.
It sucks that you completely lose your position, though.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just like this. No. Suck my motherfucking dick. This fucking sucks balls. I hate it so much. Why are you so picky, you fucking game? This is not.
Our game is really picky about this stuff. I'm trying to think of another game that's really picky with like specifics like this.
You know what? I'm just gonna look up a guide so I don't have to go through this again. My phone's internet browser is still on Rise from the Ashes guide. Day 4, trial former. Okay, screenshot is from the DS version. But it's apparently supposed to be like this. That's pretty fucking close to how I had it the first time. I fucking
Is this
hate
a
you,
miracle
game.
or what?
It's a miracle I still like this series after this shit.
No one can possibly deny this jar's resemblance to the Blue Badger. A fucking creepy monstrosity.
Can't be! Order! Order! The defense has proven its claim. The mysterious blue badger witnessed on the day of the crime was actually this. Although we all enjoyed Mr. Wright's dramatic performance of his telekinesis, one question remains. What's your point?
What do you mean, what's my point?
So that badger thing was actually just a joke. That doesn't change anything.
I'm afraid that's where you're wrong, Mr. Edgeworth. See? You see, this changes everything!
Indeed. Very well then, please tell us. What's different now that we know the witness... What's different now that we know this witness saw this joke?
Location, the murder weapon, the murderer. What? say the location? Let me take these in turn. At the moment of the murder, the witness saw this jar.
At a very specific angle, I might add, Mr. Wright.
Yes, well, knowing this, where could she have seen this jar?
Where?
Location on this jar is shown in a picture taken on the day of the crime. It's on a shelf in the office of Damon Gant.
But the body was found lying near Lana Sky's desk. The witness testified so herself.
Yes, and it's these two facts that reveal what actually transpired. You see, the struggle between Dark and Marshall did not take place in Lana Sky's office. It happened on the other side of the room, in Chief Gant's office.
Are you implying the murderer moved the victim's body from Damon Gant's office to Lana Sky's office?
Yes.
Why would he do that? There is no reason.
Exactly. If there wasn't a quote-unquote reason, he wouldn't have gone through the trouble. The only logical conclusion is that there was a reason.
Do you know what that reason was, Mr. Wright?
That's a good question, Your Honor. Do I? I finally figured it out. This is why Law tried to stop the trial. It's too late to quit now, though.
It's too late to apologize.
Please recall the witness's testimony. She said she knocked away the man who was holding up the knife. The next instant, the jar was hit and flew through the air. Now tell me, what could have sent the jar flying?
That would have to have been the impact the man made when he was knocked into the wall.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if I may draw your attention to this picture once more.
Children of all ages.
The man was knocked in the direction of the shelf the jar was sitting on. Oh. What would he have hit?
He would have been knocked into Lana Sky.
Oh yeah, obviously not the, the knight in shining armor holding the knife. No, not at all. Not at all.
Well, the knight would have moved out of the way. He doesn't want to get hit. That's why he's wearing armor. The suit of armor, holding a very sharp and dangerous-looking dagger.
Yes.
That is not a sword.
That's too short to be a sword.
That is a sword.
And since the man who was knocked into the armor was carrying a broken knife, he would have had it Neil Marshall, wielding the King of Prosecutors trophy.
No, Mr. Wright, you can't be thinking.
Yes. There is another possibility of what actually transpired in that room.
Buckle up, y'all. I'm about to accuse a 14-year-old of murder. Another possibility. Well, I guess technically it would be manslaughter.
Of course the perpetrator would have no idea, but nevertheless. Please don't cry, Emma. I don't know if I can go through with this. I think I'm about to cry.
Mr. Wright, what's the matter? Why are you about to cry? If events took place as the defense theorizes, then the outcome is obvious. In that moment, assuming the man Emma Sky knocked away was actually Prosecutor Neil Marshall.
Owie.
You mean Mr. Marshall died because of me? No!
This is how Phoenix Wright traumatizes a 16-year-old.
I never imagined her testimony would lead to this. So it was the witness who took the victim's life, and then proved so with her own testimony. This is unprecedented. Oh well, send her to jail. are you saying?
I'm sorry, Miss Sky, but given the circumstances...
Joe Dark murdered Prosecutor Marshall. How can you think it was Emma? How dare you try to pin the crime on her? Imagine that, coming from you. If you recall, it was you who admitted to forging evidence 2 years ago. The reason you moved Prosecutor Marshall's body was to keep anyone else from finding out about what Emma did, wasn't it? I assure you, Mr. Edgeworth, I have no idea what you're talking about. If you hope to have anyone believe your insane allegations, I'm afraid you're going to have proof. Tell me, do you have any conclusive evidence that proves my sister killed Neil Marshall?
Yes! Leather! With fingerprints!
No, we don't have any of that. No, nothing like that.
Evidence?
I'm willing to bet you don't.
Yes, it certainly would be difficult to prove this with evidence.
If we don't have evidence, which we don't, then we'll have to rely on testimony because we don't have evidence, obviously. Nope, no evidence here.
Nope, no evidence. Can't see it all. Eyes closed.
I can't read something I don't know, says Phoenix. I'm afraid that won't work in this case. Both parties involved in the incident are dead.
Certainly can't get dead people to testify. Well...
Unless we call in Maya, but... I miss Maya!
Maya! This has all been a wild goose chase from the beginning. Yes, it has. This whole case has been that, honestly. That's the best way to describe it.
Maya used to chase wild geese. Touche, Miss Sky. Of course, that only leaves us with one possibility.
You mean there's still another possibility?
What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? I mean the possibility that the victim has left us a message. For better or for worse, Mr. Marshall did not die instantly. He may have left behind the name of the person who took his life. In one method or another. That's impossible.
Well, Mr. Wright, this is the only possibility left to you. A message from the deceased. Does such a message exist?
I'll think back to the court record. Real murderer's name the victim may have left behind is in the... It's in the evidence? This message from the deceased is already in our possession.
Mr. Wright, will you stop at nothing to prove my sister a murderer?
Do not be mistaken, Miss Sky.
Our purpose is not to accuse Emma of any crime. There is only one thing we seek, the truth.
No matter how painful it may be. Now then, Mr. Wright, please show us the piece of evidence that conveys a message from the deceased.
Wearing a leather thing, so...
That's not a message. If anything, that's a message from Emma, where she's waving hi to us.
Yeah. Oh, right! I forgot this had the little thing on it. The dark red stains must be blood traces from the incident 2 years ago. I forgot about this little line. Only the fragment found in Chief Gant's office still has lines remaining on it. I forgot that they started writing out like a Japanese character. Or whatever there. I did indeed forget about this.
It's not a Japanese character.
Yeah, whatever character is. This is a message left by the deceased.
I think they're called letters over here.
This is that blue badger from before, right?
Oh, is he going to just speak the killer's name? I should go back to calling you Mr. Sim.
If that thing could, I'm sure it would.
It's like everyone's forgotten this is just a jar.
Yeah, that's
The message was left here. On the surface of this jar.
What do you mean?
If you look closely, you can see a faint trail of blood on this jar.
It looks like someone wiped the blood away. Now, gee, I wonder who could have done that. I don't know.
I don't know. You don't know. Yes, but notice. For some reason, the blood on some of the fragments was not wiped away.
Specifically the fragment that Chief Gant kept in his safe. I probably shouldn't have admitted to that.
Yes, there is a line here. Drawn in blood.
So what you're saying is these dots were once lines.
Prosecutor Marshall did not die instantly. He used the few precious moments left to him to leave behind a message.
One that someone apparently wiped away. But blood must have seeped into the jar where the lines changed direction.
Precisely so. All we need to do is connect these points. And the victim's message will become apparent.
Or we could spray the jar with luminol and that would show the blood that was wiped away.
But why would we make it easy?
Mr. Wright, what kind of message did the victim leave for us?
Your Honor, I believe these bloodstains will reveal to us the answer. Gotta connect these dots to make letters. Oh, Jesus
By
Christ.
drawing on the touchscreen. I love the Nintendo dual screen.
The only one thing that victim would have written, given the circumstances. My nut is murderer's name. My Gant. Chief Gant. Emma murdered me.
Emma is a good girl. Please be nice to her. Please buy her McDonald's.
Take that!
Defense attorney's duty to prove their client's innocence. That's why all I've been thinking about is saving Lana. For all my efforts, I never thought it would turn out like this. Emma. Emma.
So this is the final message Prosecutor Marshall left behind. Because as we all know, every time a victim writes a message in blood in the Ace Attorney series, it's always true.
Oh yeah, especially with the third game's last case. Oh yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, remember in the second case of the first game, Turnabout Sisters, when Mia wrote Maya.
I don't think it's ever been that way, where they write down the murderer's name, but anyway.
Of all people. Yeah, I'm pretty... Yeah, like, costumes and dying messages. These are the two tricks the Ace Attorney trials love pulling.
Yeah.
Of all people, she may not have meant it. But in the end, the one who took the victim's life.
Was Emma Sky? Allegedly.
It would be a super dick move of Prosecutor Marshall to have left Emma's name, to have written down Emma's name if he actually had done it also, because it was an accident. Come on.
Yeah, she definitely didn't do it on purpose.
Are you going to take vengeance against a 14-year-old who did it by accident? We continue.
Seaworthy? Can't say I didn't warn you.
Look, Gantz, no one likes you.
Chief Kent, shut the fuck up. No one likes you.
Do you understand the implications of what you've done now?
What? Sir, what are you talking about?
2 years ago, Joe Dark was sentenced to death. He was convicted because of his final murder. I believe you were the prosecutor in the case, were you not? Yes, Worthy. Because of you, an innocent man was sentenced to death.
I mean, he was not fucking innocent.
He wasn't. Also,
He
He committed manslaughter. He committed manslaughter and then murdered everyone who witnessed him burying the bodies that were quickly piling up. And then he turned himself in.
Yeah. Also, even if he was evidence, you're the one that didn't give Edgy the full list of evidence, so... I mean...
This case is just not that well written. Not only that, but you used forged evidence to ensure his conviction, which you yourself forged. I'm completely innocent. Not sure why Edgeworth said it was a crab.
But Joe Dark really was a serial murderer, that's undeniable!
I'm afraid that's not important.
Shut the f*** up, Gant!
Didn't you know we aren't defenders of justice or anything?
ACAB.
What?
Typical cop.
We're merely keepers of the law. Sentencing a man to death is no light matter. Even if there weren't any cover-up or evidence forgery, ultimately the responsibility falls on the prosecutor in charge. I thought the ultimate responsibility was the judges. Despite what anyone may say, this fact cannot be denied.
What's going on in the prosecutor's office? They might have sent an innocent man to his death? How can he just stare there like it wasn't his fault? Where's that shitty cravat? Order!
Shut the fuck up! The gavel's pounding fell on deaf ears.
Ow, my ears!
Unable to salve the crowd, the judge declared a recess.
To be continued.
Where this trial is headed, no one knows. TBC. Trial ladder. February 25th, 1206, District Court. Defendant lobby number 2. Sorry, Edgeworth. I didn't mean to get you in trouble.
Don't worry about it. This is my problem, not yours.
Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, yes I am. I'll come back later.
Wait! Gummy! What is it?
You got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run all around while on duty.
Something else I'm not a fan of in this case, recycling scenes like this.
Top it off, you call me here? I've seen happier people at funerals.
I take it Law is having you run errands again.
Yeah, she gave me the script to read. It's really weird. I don't know why she's so stick with that. Let me tell you, this is the last time, pal. Here. She asked me to give this to you if there was a break in today's trial.
That's Law. As we were talking about this just the other day.
You must know the 2 rules of evidence. Rule number 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Rule number 2, these nuts.
Is that right, Mr. Wright?
Seems so.
You could at least study some evidence law, really.
But I'm an art major!
The prosecutor also wanted me to give you a message.
A message?
Oh, my mistake. She wanted me to give you a massage.
Oh, okay. I mean, if you're willing.
She said, if you're planning to take him on, you're gonna need this book.
I guess I'll need to give this book a full read.
Evidence law securely slipped into pocket.
From the sky! It explains the 2 rules of evidence law. One,
Doesn't look like that book will do you any good now, though. All that's left now is the chief prosecutor's sentence.
that's where you're wrong, detective.
Huh? Haven't you figured it out? Why I'm still sitting in that prosecutor's seat, despite all these allegations being thrown at me? Instead, the real trial today hasn't begun yet.
What? What else is there left to do?
Credibility's been all but ruined with this forged evidence you were unaware of.
And totally innocent of. Emma Sky found out she's unwittingly caused a man's death. And now, you tell me you want to do more? You gotta be kidding me, pal.
You're missing the point, Detective.
What's next? Are you gonna get
Law
Mr.
did
Wright
murder
this bod?
Law did murder Detective Goodman. She merely stuck a knife into his dead body, she told me.
That's fucked up, pal.
That means the real killer is Gant.
What?
I'm going to expose him. No matter what. This case has hurt too many people. It's time to bring it to an end.
After I read this cute little bird book.
Oh yeah, it is pretty cute though. Rules for submitting evidence. Rule 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. Okay, so...
This cloth? Nope, not relevant to anything. Nope, definitely not.
Oh no.
It's just a random piece of leather that Lana had Emma put her handprint on when in a leatherworking class, and Gant's been hanging on to it because he's super sentimental.
February 25th, 12:52. That's a long recess. District Court, courtroom number 9.
Court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, Your Honor.
The inquiry committee is planning to impose harsh penalties for your actions. You've been a bad boy.
Thank you for the news, Your Honor.
Yes, well. Normally this is where the prosecution calls forth a witness, but, cough. This is easy to say. The old man only passed. You see, there is some concern that you, Mr. Edgeworth, may have
Struck a bargain. You think I may have manipulated the witness?
I didn't say that. It's just, you see, everyone else has been talking, and,
Very well. I have a solution.
a solution.
It's called alcohol. That being the case, the prosecution will allow the defense to call forth all further witnesses. Meanwhile, I will get fucking toasted.
What? But there's no precedent for what you're proposing.
Wasn't it Phoenix who called Jake Marshall to the stand
Yes.
earlier in
Yes,
this
it
very
was.
trial?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Although it would totally fit into canon for the judge to be so checked out that he just doesn't remember that that happening.
No, literally.
Undeniably, this is an unusual arrangement, but a very effective one. It would prove that I haven't struck any deals with the witnesses.
Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say?
Believable. Edgeworth has found a way to continue the trial. Very well. The defense accepts the prosecution's proposal.
Yes, I will marry you, Mr. Edgeworth.
So, the defense may now call forth the next witness.
Mr. Wright? You do realize this is your last chance to marry me. If you call the wrong witness, we're through.
The defense calls. Time's finally come to bring out the real murderer. David
Detective Bruce Goodman. He was the mastermind all along.
Can you imagine if Wright said that? Oh my god. Oh my god.
You don't have
No,
to imagine it. I could just hit this little button.
No, we haven't saved in a while. David Gant.
Mike Meekins.
No, never again. Never.
Jake
fucking
Marshall.
again. I don't need more go-to-knees, like,
Lana Scott.
bro.
Angel Star. Emma Sky. Detective
just
Dick
had that.
Gumshoe.
Yes! Gumshoe, obviously. No, Damon. Gant. Damon Gant! The defense calls Damon Gant to the stand!
Damon Gant? What does he have to do with anything?
As the defendant's partner 2 years ago, Mr. Gant has first-hand knowledge of the crime. I feel we should hear what he has to say about it. Also, he's the real murderer, Your Honor.
He is? This is news to me. As luck would have it, he should still be in the courthouse. He would also be the least likely to have been manipulated. He would also have been the least likely to have been manipulated by me in any way. Wouldn't you agree, Your Honor? True. All right. Bailiff, please escort Mr. Gant to the stand.
Hello, fuckface.
Fuckface, please state your name and occupation. What is this? Some kind of practical joke? I was just on my way to lunch. Your name and occupation. So, are you sure you want to do this? Your name and occupation. So, you want to play hardball, eh? Please, Mr. Gant. My name is Damon Gant. I'm the acting chief of police.
Now then, Chief Gant, the court requests to hear your testimony.
Oh, righto. What's with the grim face? Who died?
First, let's clear up this SL9 incident.
Oh, you mean that time when Lana's... Oh, you mean that time when Lana's sister murdered that prosecutor? That was funny. Personally, I think it's been made pretty clear already.
There are still some things unaccounted for.
Oh, like what?
Like the role you played in all of this.
Son, either you're very brave or very foolish.
I know you fucking murdered people.
Yes, and I'll do it to you too. You better watch the fuck out. Sleep with one eye open tonight, righto. You are aware, of course, that a police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal, like this gun.
Weapons.
Sure, take my testimony, for example. I don't have to give it if I don't want to.
What? Is that true?
I'm afraid so. The chief of police has the right to refuse to testify. You should know this, being an attorney. Of course, such an action carries with it certain risks. Don't worry, I'm not here to hinder your trial. Just remember, if this turns out to be a big waste of time, don't say I didn't warn you.
Does that mean we can't press him?
No.
Okay.
Very well, the
Make
witness may now begin his testimony. They will explicitly tell you, I will penalize you if you press the wrong statements. If it's a you can't press them situation. Slime. As I recall, old Neil and I were questioning him that day. Make a long story short, we slipped up. That power outage didn't help either. When I went to my office, I found Lana there. Apparently she had already arranged the crime scene. As you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery. Is that when Joey was arrested? Him? He was lying on the floor unconscious. When Emma sent Neil flying, it seems Doc bumped his head on the Blue Badger. I see. Everything seems pretty clear-cut.
The police chief has the right to refuse to testify.
And I do.
Then I better hit him hard and fast.
Ooh, I'd like to see you try, righto.
As I recall, a ceremony was held at the police department that day.
Yes, that's right. I guess you could say I'm a workaholic. After winning his award, Neil was all fired up too. Fired up, not filed. We did not put him away in the cabinet. That's probably what spooked Joey and made him run away like that. Was the defendant, Lana Sky, also present in the room? I don't quite remember. At the very least, she wasn't there when Joey ran for it.
The two of you ran immediately after him, right?
That's right, but Joey made it to the elevator first. So old Neil and I split up. He went upstairs and I went downstairs. I guess you could say he got lucky. What's this about a power outage? Oh, that. The elevator stopped all of a sudden, and I got the shock of my life. Well, probably not as shocked as Neil was when that knife went into his heart, though.
That's not funny.
Says you.
You're not funny.
Says you.
Could you tell us what you saw?
It was a shocking sight. Neil and that serial killer were lying in a heap on the floor, all tangled together like they just finished fucking.
Dark was also lying collapsed on the floor.
Yes, apparently he hit his head and was knocked out by the blue badger. Next to them were those two poor girls.
Lana and Emma.
Lana was cradling Emma in her arms, rocking her like a baby. Looking back at her now, she must have already known what her baby sister had done.
How can you know that?
Because of the baby body. It had already been moved. So that means you found the body near Lana's desk. That's right. I think you said earlier it was my suit of armor that really stabbed the prosecutor.
Yes.
Anyway, as you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery. Oh.
So you're saying the forgery had already taken place by the time you arrived at your office?
That's exactly what I'm saying. I can understand how Lana must have felt, but moving a body and hiding evidence are inexcusable no matter what the circumstances.
That's what really went down.
Staring at the witness won't do you. Staring at the witness won't do you any good, Mr. Wright. If you're going to stare at anything, you'd be better off staring at the court record. Worthy, always the smooth talker.
Which piece of evidence ties Gant to forgery? Well,
That's a good question. Okay, so this was not at the scene. This was at the scene, but it's unrelated. This doesn't really tie Gant. Actually, this might tie Gant to forgery. Let's put this in the maybe file.
yeah, it was in his desk, so that's... I think...
Yeah, this and the list I think are on the maybe file.
Yeah, that... Yeah. I don't know when we present the leather, even though that will become relevant. I don't think it's relevant yet, so...
It's not relevant to anything at all. Gant's just sentimental. He saved a bit of leather that Lana made in leatherworking class.
Oh yeah. Legitimate forging evidence. But that can't be the whole truth. Someone have got to link Gant to the incidents. I mean, we have 3 things to say they were found in Gant's office. But look, specifically 2, which we know are completely related.
Okay, you had nothing to do with any forgery. Then what was this half of the list doing in your desk?
There we go. You claim you had nothing to do with the forgery. I'm afraid that's a claim you cannot back up.
Explain yourself.
Several pieces of evidence were found in your office. Take this list, for example.
That's the list Emma Sky drew her picture on.
This was discovered in your desk. Not only that, but a piece of this jar that was sitting in your office was found inside your safe, which I totally didn't know the password to. You see, Chief Guest, these articles of evidence uncovered in your office are both concrete proof that you also played a part in this illegal investigation.
Chief Gap, what's the meaning of this? Ho. Hey, how dare you call Phoenix a ho? Here's a defense attorney who may even rival Worthy.
So you admit to it then, that you were involved in the forgery.
Who, me? Or do you mean
Me? Why would I have anything to do with that?
well, you were the one who snuck into my office where you found this evidence.
Oh, damn it.
Prosecutors aren't the only ones capable of forging evidence, you know. Defense attorneys can do so too. You'll be disbarred for this, mark my words. Isn't that right, Wright? However, Detective Gumshoe was present during the investigation. Worthy, my boy. Not even detectives are exempt from the law. Rest assured, Dick will receive his due flattening.
Oh, Gummy! What? Gummy? Detective Gummy's salary drops any further, he'll end up paying to work.
It sure was nice of Mr. Krabs to let me start working here.
Yeah, and $50 an hour, too. When I started working here, I had to pay Mr. Krabs $100 an hour.
Yes, well, in light of the detective's presence, please give us your testimony regarding these pieces of evidence found in your office, and their relation to the forgery that took place at the crime scene. My, kids these days no longer know how to put two and two together. Good thing for the writers of this case. Evidence and forgery. Let's see, what was it now? A jar fragment and a lid?
And a leather.
Nobody said anything about any leather. For all I know, you could have planted them in my office. Anyway, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. If they were found after Dark was convicted, then they're worthless. There's no reason I'd participate in a forgery. Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way. Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor.
When investigating the crime scene, you should have been more careful to observe protocol. You do understand that I am the chief of police, right? There will be consequences. Your dick will be flattened. Indeed, I believe I will press charges, so you won't make the same mistake again. My apologies, Chief, but would you mind waiting until tomorrow for that? Today is, well, all right, Udgy. In return, though, I know, that place, right?
Huh? Were these guys telepathic? Are they thinking about sucking dick?
Yes, we're going to be sucking each other's dicks after this.
I appreciate if you'd stop making these ridiculous allegations.
Yes, you do have a point. You wouldn't have the guts to do something like that.
What? I totally would have the guts. Oh, you know, back in the day, I once broke into a cattle ranch and tipped.
Mr. Wright, what are you saying? Anyway, you can't prove you didn't carry in the evidence, can you? If you have proof to the contrary, you're going to need it later. Later? What are you talking about? What else? I'm talking about when Wright's prints are found. Yes, if they're found inside my safe, they would prove his investigation was illegal.
They say want to slimy as this guy. We can probably prove this, but what do you mean by that?
is all purely hypothetical, of course. But suppose I did place those items in my safe. Such an act wouldn't necessarily constitute forgery.
Concealing evidence found at a crime scene isn't forgery.
I'm not through speaking yet, Righto. It all depends on when the evidence was discovered. If they were found after Garp was convicted, they're worthless. Just like you, Righto.
You're saying this jar fragment wasn't discovered in the initial investigation.
It would appear not. After all, it wasn't listed in the evidence list. For all we know, it could have suddenly materialized the day after Garp was convicted.
Oh, and wouldn't that be convenient?
Right. The chief is talking about a possibility. So long as you can't rule that out, your remarks, however clever they may be, and they aren't, will only succeed in wasting time.
Tell me something I don't know.
Come now, Righto. Think about it. There's no reason I'd participate in a forgery.
How can you look me in the eye and say that?
With my lips. There's no way I'd participate in a forgery. Because I'm innocent. I'm totally innocent.
Oh, innocent, huh?
Remember? Who was it that murdered Nia? I'm not sure I care for the word murder here, but in the end the person responsible for Mr. Marshall's unfortunate demise was Emma Scott. I believe that's called manslaughter. Well, now do you see? Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way.
Really, Chief Gantz. At the very least, there's one very large benefit you've reaped from all this.
Oh, I wasn't aware. What is this benefit?
That would, of course, be the position you have. Chief of
Missionary.
Police.
Oh, yeah, that too. Oh,
The resolution of the SL9 incident secured your promotion to Chief. That in itself is sufficient motive.
Oh, that's a good one. You really think I'm that incompetent? Yes.
Yes. What do you mean? Of course I think that.
Even without that case, I was already in line to become the next chief. The resolution of SL9 merely sped up the inevitable a little.
Is that true, Edward?
Yes, he was going to be made chief anyway.
Yeah.
Be careful in pointing that finger, or you might wind up being the one being pointed at. So that means there's only one possible motivation for you to commit forgery. If you didn't do it for yourself, then you did it for someone else. Don't be silly, Worthy. You know me better than that. There are only 3 people I look out for. Me, myself, and I. There, it's out in the open now. Gee, would you mind if I changed my testimony a little? By all means, please do. I wouldn't be anyone's accomplice if there was nothing in it for me.
Okay. Press that first. Nothing in it for you.
Sorry, but the only person I care about is yours truly. That girl, Lana's little sister, was it? If you think I feel sorry for her, you'd better think again. Fuck that girl. You're right. You don't feel sorry for anyone. You jump on crime and jump on people. That's how I was raised. I am a cop after all. You seem to be lax enough on yourself, though. Oh, that's a good one, Worthy.
Could there have been something in it for him? Given his selfishness, would he have helped someone out? Point out, accomplice. True, you might not help out anyone for their sake. But if it will benefit you, you might decide to assist someone.
Mr. Wright, it appears you're positively determined to portray the chief as a nice man who likes to lend people a hand.
That's not what I mean, Your Honor.
Very well, then. Who is this person you believe Chief Gant may have helped forge evidence?
Mike Meekins, Your Honor.
Absolutely.
Obviously, his accomplice with Emma Sky.
Oh yeah. Obviously. It wasn't, you know, Emma's sister. No.
So I'm going to press this. I'm going to press this little blue button now.
No. No. No.
Okay, fine. I'll finger Angel Star instead.
No.
Okay,
God.
fine. I'll finger Gummy instead.
Oh yeah, it was actually Gumshoe. Like, this is actually what happened.
Chief Prosecutor Lotta Sky, the defendant.
Sound bleed.
I believe it's quite obvious in light of the circumstances.
The circumstances?
Emma Sky fell victim to an unfortunate series of events.
Oh, I love those books.
Who would want to help her more than her own sister, Lana? I mean, you saw Lana earlier. And as for Chief Gantz, he would also have a reason to help Lana if she asked him to. That reason, of course, is self-profit.
It's true, she gave me $50. Self-profit? What do you mean?
After the SL9 incident was resolved, Lana Sky was appointed Chief Prosecutor of the Prosecutor's Office. The person who arranged this job change was you, Chief Gant.
But how would he profit from all of this?
He would be able to use the chief prosecutor as his puppet. Essentially, he would acquire unchecked authority over all investigations.
Do you mean to tell me that despite the chief's formidable appearance, he plays with puppets?
No, Your Honor, that's not what we're getting at.
I mean, I do play with puppets, but that's unrelated. Oh, wait. You must mean puppet as in someone forced to do his bidding. Never mind.
A minute, Chief. You assisted Lana Sky in forging evidence. Your motive? To appoint her as Chief Prosecutor so you could control her.
Righto, my boy. You have quite an imagination. Let me ask you something.
What?
Do you have any proof that I controlled Lana? For example, is Lana testifying that I've done such a thing?
She kind of told me, but I guess she didn't say it in the courtroom. Lana. It's keeping quiet to protect Emma. There's no way she'd testify against Gant.
You're right, there's no way. He beat the shit out of me. Have you seen him? He's like super tall, super buff.
I'm afraid without any proof, this all amounts to nothing more than mere conjecture.
Unless.
Oh.
Also, what happened in this incident?
This incident? Which one would that be?
Of course I'm talking about the murder of Detective Bruce Whitman. The chief prosecutor has been acting strange throughout this entire trial. Yo, J-Dog!
Hey,
Almost
J-Dog.
as if someone has been controlling her.
Worthy, you'd better watch your tongue.
I wouldn't want you to get hurt.
Just what do you mean?
What he means, Your Honor, is that Chief Gant is involved in the murder of Detective Goodman. Not only that, but the Chief is now making Lana take the rap to cover up his involvement.
What?
No,
Order! I said, order! Right, you can't be serious.
Huh?
This is
is an affront to the highest ranking officer in our law enforcement agency. To accuse the chief of police of blackmail and murder? That's impossible.
Police can be corrupt? What's happening? Your Honor, I was merely reiterating what Mr. Edward said in easier to understand language because it's Edward and he complicates everything.
Way to pass the buck. It's too late, Mr. Wright. There's no turning back for us now.
Looks like he's the one who decided to go through with this. I feel like it's literally like it's not even a trial between prosecutor and attorney right now. It's literally just Phoenix and Edgeworth being like, all right, we're gonna tag this guy today. Let's go. That's clearly what's happening.
They're just spit roasting Gant right in the middle of court.
Yeah, literally.
Can you
I
prove
love it
this,
though.
Mr. Wright, that the chief, a high-ranking officer of the law, is involved in this murder?
Good question.
Regardless of his rank or title, Chief Gant is just a man. He can be killed like any other. The question is he a criminal? I believe the evidence will tell.
I see. Alright then. Let's see what Mr. Wright's got. And it had better be good. Come on, Mr. Wright, whip it out. Unzip. Show us this evidence that ties Chief Gant to the murder of Detective Goodman.
Oh god.
Okay, I actually have to think about this one now.
I don't think it's anything over here.
Tied within an hour and a half of 4 p.m.
I see, because then through this we start getting to the SL9 evidence, so it's not...
I think it's this.
Because he entered at 420?
Yeah, because remember we found the bloodstain on Gumshoe's locker that was like something happened in the evidence room before this point in time.
Oh, right. Yeah. That makes sense.
YOLO.
This is the ID card.
Yes, the one that shows who entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. There was one ID on the list we couldn't determine the owner of yesterday.
777777.
Thank you, Mikey.
Or like, what amount would that be?
Don't ask me. I'm bad with numbers. Like, I literally, I can't, I don't read numbers out when I'm doing them. I just...
77,777. That, oh, it's seven digits. I don't know.
A million, isn't it? Isn't a million like... Isn't a million 6 digits? So would it be a billion? Like 7 billion? 7 million? I don't know. I can't remember. Anyway. 777777. Hold on.
Sorry, but there's no way you can prove that's my card number.
It's your number. I used it to open up your safe. I mean...
What? How do you know that?
The safe in Chief... Oh, he actually says this! Okay, love that for you, Phoenix. The safe in Chief Gant's office requires a code to open. A 7-digit code.
7 digits? You don't mean...
I'm afraid so, Your Honor. I did open it. With the code. 7777777. The same as the remaining ID card on that list. Chief Gant! You entered the evidence room on the day of the crime! And so there was a murder in the evidence room.
I'm gonna beat the shit out of you, Wright-ho!
Order! Order! Chief Gant, what do you have to say?
Nothing.
The defense's search of my office was in violation of regulations. And I will demand Mr. Wright be punished to the maximum extent of the law. But right now, this court demands an explanation from you about the use of this ID card. Chief Captain, so you admit it. You entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. What about it? I'm chief of police, whether it's the evidence room or the bathroom. What's the difference? I can go anywhere I want. Tell me, when you entered the room, were you alone? I always go to the bathroom alone, as I do with the evidence room.
Detective Goodman wouldn't have happened to be with you that day, would he?
Oh, of course not. Why would he be? I hadn't seen him in days.
You hadn't seen him in days. Chief Gans! I'm afraid you've just undone yourself. On that day, you had to have met with Detective Goodman.
What do you mean? This trial's purpose is to determine Lana Sky's guilt. No, it isn't, Your Honor. Fuck off. This trial's purpose is to determine the truth.
I don't know what. I do love this part of the trial, though, even though it's like kind of stupid and very like, you know, goose chase. I love this part.
If Chief Gant met the victim on the day of the crime, well, yeah, naturally this part is going to be fun because we're inching closer to a conclusion. Progress is being made.
And Wright are just like beating Gant from both sides, and it's just great.
Then we need to determine one thing. What transpired during that meeting? In that case, Mr. Wright, I'm going to have to ask you for evidence. Show us proof that the victim went to meet Chief Gant on the day of the crime. Well, I can prove it because I have this crawler here, Your Honor.
Well, isn't it the lost claim report, maybe? That's my first thought.
Can only be submitted to the Chief of Police.
Yeah. So, yeah. Detective Goodman lost his ID card on the day of the crime.
Or to be more accurate, a stupid fucking cowboy stole it.
Detective Goodman filled out lost item report.
He tried this way.
Who have had to give that report to the Chief of Police.
If you are in possession of the report, strange. I am very smart. Which means you can't be sure if he filed it.
He filed it. How do I know, you ask? Because he needed to enter the evidence room that day.
He needed it.
Yes, to transfer the evidence out.
Oh.
Detective Goodman took the form to you, Chief Gant. Then, you accompanied Detective to the evidence room! Voice crack.
I accompanied him.
There's no other way the murderer and Detective Goodman could have entered the room.
Hold on. Let me guess what you're going to say next. I, the Chief of Police, murdered poor Goodman.
Well, yeah. Exactly.
But wait. The Chief didn't necessarily need to accompany him to the evidence room. He could have just lent him his ID card. Yes, good thinking, Archie. Now that you mention it, I believe I might have done something of the sort. Objection! Sorry, but that's not possible. According to the record, your card was only used once. Yet you showed us your ID card earlier. If you had really lent it to Detective Goodman, it would have been found on his body. No!
That is an interesting sprite.
Chief Gant, you didn't.
The murder was most likely a spur-of-the-moment crime for no one in their right mind would choose the police department as a place to commit murder. After the murder, you contacted Lana at the prosecutor's office. Why? To dispose of Detective Goodman's body, of course.
You're forgetting, right? The victim's body was discovered in the prosecutor's office parking lot. How did he manage to move it there? I was at the police department the entire day, you know. And everyone's aware that Lana stayed at the prosecutor's office after the ceremony.
Everyone except me, it seems. Still, you're chief of police. You have an entire police force at your disposal.
Oh, so you think I just ordered an officer
officer to do it. Hey you, take this here dead body to the prosecutor's office. I don't think so.
Chief Gant, you left all the evidence we need to prove how you moved the body to the prosecutor's office. And all this time I thought it was a useless clue, just taking up space. Oh, is it the ticket?
Gee, what's been useless so far?
Or the screwdriver, yeah.
How could the chief remove the body? Mr. Wright, show us this evidence.
Your mom, Your Honor.
To move the victim's body, Chief Gant used this!
It was a screwdriver, Your Honor. This is how he moved Detective Goodman's body!
What's that? A screwdriver? You know Doctor Who is just fiction, right? Right, Mr. Wright?
Right, Your Honor. Mr. Edgewood, think back to the day of the crime. What is the screwdriver doing here?
It's here because... I was asked to go by Chief Gant. He told me he wanted me to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here. After the ceremony ended that day, I didn't plan to return to the prosecutor's office.
And you did, because Chief Gant asked you to. He played you like a fiddle.
You mean
You were played like a fiddle, boy. The body was found in the trunk of Mr. Edgewood's car. And I think it's obvious what happened. The body was moved by that car!
Matthew Goodman's body was carried in the trunk of Mr. Edwards' car.
Yes, unless of course you have another explanation, Chief. Why else would you have asked Mr. Edward to transfer evidence from a closed case? There's only one plausible explanation. To transfer the body to your accomplice. Miss Lana Sky!
Order! What's going on here? Is there no room for rebuttal to the defense's outrageous accusations?
Think back to the photograph Miss Starr took at the prosecutor's office. This was not a photo.
Typo.
Okay, this was not a photo of the body being stuffed in the trunk to be taken away.
No, you have to read out the typo. This was not a photo of the body being stuffed in the trunk to be taken away.
Okay. It was exactly the opposite.
It is a photo of the body being taken from the trunk. Chief Gant, please, say something. I believe... your time's up. My time's up? Indeed, our time is up because we're past the 2-hour mark. So that's going to be it for tonight, Twitch chat. Hope you all had fun. Hope you all will join us tomorrow on my channel or Starburst for more Ocarina of Time Randomizer, where we will finally finish the seed and Starburst will finally finish the Water Temple.
No.
Then go back to Starburst channel on Monday for more Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core Reunion. And then come back here on Tuesday for probably the conclusion of Rise from the Ashes. Possibly. I'm still not sure. I genuinely don't know how much we have left.
Mark, now we actually only have 10 minutes left.
I think with the I think including the credits, it'll still stretch out to like 30 minutes. But yeah, if it does go that early, I'll think of something to stall for time with.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's gonna be it for tonight, Twitch chat. Bye.
Bye, Twitch crowd. Love you.